Hello everyone, it's Craig, certified technician here at ApplianceVideo.com, and today I'm going to show you how to check the error codes as well as go through a smart install diagnostics on the Samsung front load dryer. Now, before we go too far, make sure you like and subscribe. Without further ado, let's jump right in. The Samsung dryer has two different diagnostics capabilities. First, you have your error code recall, followed by the smart install diagnostics. Now, your error codes will pop up whenever a part fails, but if you need a technician to recall the error codes in order to do so, it's very easy. Simply press two buttons, and on the screen what you'll want to press is dryness and wrinkle prevent. When you press in on these two buttons, the first error code will pop up after about 6 seconds, but if there's no error code in the system, it will leave blank. The most common error codes you'll find inside the system are as follows. You may find a TC or a TC5 for the thermistor 1 or thermistor 2 resistances being too high or too low. If this error code is present, make sure you break down your dryer, check your wiring first, and then check your resistance on both thermistors. You may have a DC or a DF. Both of these are door switch error codes. The DC error code will be an error code indicating that the dryer is running with the door open, and then the DF error code is an indication that you have an incorrect door switch. If you're running either one of these error codes, a door switch is a very common component to break. So if you do have it, that's the first thing you want to check, as your door is constantly pushing pressure on those internal switches. You may find a BC2 for an incorrect button state. If this is the case, make sure you check all of your connections to the PCB, and it's more than likely going to be electronic, so make sure you call for service. You may find an FC for an invalid power source frequency, generally within your electrical in the house. A 9C1 for electronic control problem. This, again, is usually a problem with the PCB main. If this is your error code, call for service. Don't attempt it as a consumer. We have one more error code that is an indication that you have a problem with the PCB or the UI, and that's going to be an AC error code for electronic control problem. You may find an HC error code for a heating error code. If this is the case, check your PCB, make sure that your heater is not running when it is in error only cycle, and if that's okay, make sure you check that your heater is not shorted out, and then check your thermistors. And then finally, we have a 3C error code, which is a motor relay short problem. This could be within the main PCB or it could be in the motor. The next portion we'll go through is called a smart install. If you have had an error code and you've replaced a part, it is highly advised to go through this quick automatic test. In order to do so, you'll simply press the power and turn on the dryer, and then press and hold the adjust time up and down buttons for about 7 seconds until SC displays on the screen. During the smart install, the first thing you'll want to do is check your sensor. Before you press start, you'll simply want to open the door and touch the sensor inside. When you apply a wet cloth to the moisture sensor inside, the display should read 1. When you remove the wet cloth, the display should read 0. If this is your readings, your moisture sensor is fine, go ahead and close the door, and then what you want to do is press start. When you press start, this is going to turn on the heating unit and the motor. This is a good time to test out whatever components that you need to test out. It will not count down, it will not trick the cycle, it'll just run for a couple of minutes so you can do all the proper testing. And then, if there's an error code inside the system, it'll pop up immediately. Now, in order to exit this, you can turn off the dryer, and I do highly recommend unplugging it for about 3 to 5 minutes before plugging it back in. Now, if you do need your tech manual, you can obtain it by either calling Samsung or going to ApplianceVideo.com and posting it into the repair help section. YouTube, if you enjoy my content, make sure you like, subscribe, and as always, I'll see you next time.